for this week. Then any time we have left this week will be to work on the Khan Academy weekly assignment. Ferris, you had a question? All right, so let's go back to finishing volume. What type of a solid is this? Sandy, now's the best time to do it. Yeah. Where the top is running. No, yeah, I don't want to go that one. What type of a solid is this? Triangular pyramid. So we need to go look up the formula for volume, which I made it a little bit easier for you, but it's not a good memory. Because a lot of things that use the generic formula for all pyramids. Which was the base of the triangle at the bottom. And see, now triangular pyramids get tricky because, well, all pyramids have triangles going all the way around. So when you have a triangle also on the bottom, well, every single face is a triangle. So which one do we consider the base? And I would do the one that we know the most information about. Here on the bottom, this is very important. The fact that this is 90 degrees. If by definition, on any triangle, if you went back to first semester geometry, and you were just to be given a triangle, any triangle, okay, the base could be any side, as long as the height touches that side at 90 degrees. So if you're able to know two dimensions on a triangle that are meeting at 90 degrees, that's what you're going to want to use, because you can use that as base and height. So back here, the volume is base and height of the triangle times the height of the pyramid divided by. Yeah, this doesn't be divided by 6. Most pyramids is dividing by 3, but it's just I put them up and I simplified the formula for you. Instead of them triangles and trapezoids, you divide by 6. They're not going to teach you. Alright, so now it's just substitution. For the base of the triangle, you can use any side, as long as the height meets it at 90 degrees. So really, we're going to use the 8 and the 6, and it doesn't matter which one we use for base or which one we use for height, because the fact is that they meet at 90 degrees. For the height of the pyramid, it has to go from the tip straight down to the base at 90 degrees. And even though they don't have it on the inside, you can tell by that segment out there that it is perpendicular. It's going straight down. So you can use that as the height of the pyramid and then divide it by 6. Since we're all superstars with order of operations, or like order of operations ninjas, we know that those 6's will cancel out. So what are we left with? What's the volume here? 80. If I ask you for a unit, what would the unit be? Yes, cubic inches. Any questions there? Let's keep on. Okay, now we got a cone. I don't have to put the formula because you already got it on the first page. So, formula for volume of a cone is pi r squared. Where the r is the radius of that circle, since a cone has a circular base. Times the height of the cone. For number 3 here, do we have all the information we need? Yeah, so let's go substitute. So then 5 times 7 squared times 15 over 3. If you want to be crazy, you can do 2 things at once. 7 1 squared is 49, and at the same time, this 15 and this 3 can be divided. What's 15 divided by 3? You can do it more than one step if you want, but the point is that the denominator cancels out for 49 times 5, and in my head I'm getting 2.5. This is the exact amount, but anytime you're dealing, look, and it does say give me the answer in terms of 5. We don't have to use a calculator today. But if it did say to round, then I would hope by now you know how to use the 5 button on the calculator. How many of you have already started the Khan Academy assignment for the week? Remember, in terms of pi means that the pi should be part of your answer. And if the pi is part of your answer, what do you not have to do? No, say multiply. Round, not to round. That's the big thing. Is to round or not to round. And if you tell you to leave it as a pi, then you leave it as a pi. Alright, I was looking ahead, and this is going to be the last one of these. It's probably a good thing because this is one of those things that by now either you know it or you don't. If you need extra practice on this, I can direct you to some places, but these are one of the things that you have to know. So I did one yesterday, I'll do one today, but after that, it's just kind of either you know or you don't. This is a cone again. I wrote the formula on the top, but the difference is here, they're giving you the slant height of the cone, meaning the regular height. And I showed you yesterday, you take the slant height. Now, yesterday we did one for a pyramid. This for a cone. Cones are a little bit easier because cone you can just use the radius, the slant height, and this regular height. I use the regular height. What can I use to find that? Pythagorean theorem. So, again, I can try to direct you to some practice, but this is not a Pythagorean theorem lesson. It's one of those things that by now either you know it or you don't. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. I would argue that the biggest mistakes I see with Pythagorean theorem, assuming that you know the formula and when to use it, is that people substitute in the wrong location. The most important side would be the hypotenuse, because the hypotenuse has to be in the right spot. The two legs are interchangeable, but the hypotenuse has to be in the right spot. Which one here is the hypotenuse? The Ferris said the 100, yes. The slant height will always be the hypotenuse. So for the other two, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use h for height because that's what I'm looking for. H squared plus, in this case it's the radius, which is 28 squared is equal squared. Let's solve for that height. Oh man, I don't know. 28 squared. Is that like okay? I know I got it. 784. I know this is going to be just a 1 now with 4 zeros. So then minus 784. H squared is equal to 10,000. So 10. 10,000 minus 784. Yeah, 9236. Our best bet would be if this is a perfect square. So I'll try to take the square root of 9236. But it gives me a decimal. So here, since we didn't have that much time yesterday to do this, did I put that wrong? It's not. What was it? 9216. Is that a perfect square? Oh, yeah, it is. Perfect. Get it? I was going to simplify the radical part. So now the volume is equal to pi times the radius. What's the radius? 28 squared height, which is 96, and then divided by 3. I do get lucky here. 96 can be divided by 3. That's 32. And I already know that 28 squared is 784. So it's just gonna be 784 times 32. So I'm getting it. The volume is 25,088. We'll write the directions on the top that says just leave it in terms of pi. Worst case you want use the calculator. Any questions? Yeah. For volume, yeah. See, like surface area is not part of the BKS. Normally, at every time I've ever taught volume, you keep surface area right around the same time. But when you look at the AKS, for whatever reason, surface area is not there. So we're only doing volume. But if we were to do surface area, which now surface area is the flat space on the outside, now that's when you actually start using the slant height. But for volume, you don't use the slant height. It's just the regular height. So yes, that, the short answer to your question is they give you slant height and expect the impact diagram. Alright, more cones and pyramids. Yeah, these are the ones I looked ahead on. All of these are giving you height, so they're just going to be using formulas. Why don't we do this and we'll see how long it takes you guys to get through this. Why don't you guys do them and then give me the answer? Just give it to me on the cones, give it to me in terms of pi. We can, I know it says to round, we can round afterwards. And then when we get to the pyramids, then for those it'll just be exact. So somebody give me the volume for number 1. Leave it in terms of pi.
Late. Maylee was late. Caden was late. Jason was late. Miranda never made it. Jordan never made it. Diana's late.
Nobody got it? Again, Mohammed was no decimals. You got what, 117? I'm getting some difference in my head. Dan, you got anything? Hold on, off the jacket. Yes, I can tell. No, baby. I did it. In terms of power, should not be taken into account. In my head, hey, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I'm doing it in my head. I'm getting a fraction, just leave a fraction. Take a pi next to it. What? Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Volume equals pi times the radius, which is 4 squared, times the height, which is 10, divided by 3. 4 squared is 16 times 10 is 165 over 3. Now that you gave me that answer, I hope that the last part is the one divided by sixes were triangular pyramids and trapezoidal pyramids. So I don't even think I have a trapezoidal pyramid. So rounded, 160, I just learned yesterday. So 157. Finish this whole thing today, then tomorrow and Friday, work on your assignment. We can pass that work on your assignment. So we're looking on the work plan I'm gonna finish tomorrow. All right. Ooh. Look at number 2. There's an extra measurement there that you don't need. Yeah. Yes. 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 What's up, F-Man? Yeah. Well, see, yeah, but yeah, because I'm using a pi button. If you're doing 3.14, it'll be close, but it's not gonna be exact. The pi button is more precise than the 3.14 is. They're still rounding, so there's still gonna be a level of imprecision, but the pi button is more precise. I only use 3.14 when the precision is how we use 3.14. No, I haven't done it yet. It could be. The point here for number 2 is that that's not needed. And you need an all because for the base, you can think of like the triangle that's on the bottom on the base. Like, they're not even the same bottom. Sometimes they'll flip it around and be at the top. But for the one that you're gonna count as the base, you need the two sides that meet at 90 degrees. You need the legs. So when I do volume there, the volume is 6 times 8 times the height of the pyramid, which my favorite gave you, which is the 9, and now divided by 6. You said 72? And all that, yeah. The 10 is just the hypotenuse of the base. You don't need a hypotenuse of the base. Just put that in there to kind of confuse you. We haven't been talking about units, so let's go back and do units. What was the unit of the first one? Yeah, what was the unit over here on this one? Kilometers. You say kilometer, I say kilometer. Okay, more cones. Everybody loves cones. Give it to me in terms of pi. Take that, Ferris. Volume is pi times the radius, which is 6 squared, times the height, which is 12 over 3. This doesn't always work out this nicely, but it does here where the 12 and the 3 can be divided, that gives you 4. So I know that 6 squared is 36 times 4. Then they ask you to round. So if you wanted to round to the nearest 10, I'm getting 452.4. What would the unit be? Here's a pop trivia question. So volume, it can be measured in cubic units of distance. If you get a distance unit like inches, centimeters, kilometers, whatever, and you cube it, that makes it a volume. But volume also has its own units. Gallons, cups, pints. You know, like those are all types of liters. Those are all types of volumes. And there really isn't many direct conversions. Yes, you could use a calculator and it'll convert anything for you. On phones they have those, but there's one conversion between those like kind of like the liquid, the units that you associate with liquids and these distance ones. There is one direct conversion that you don't need a calculator for. Anybody know what that is? No. Anybody at home know? So you can that. Okay, I'm gonna try again. There are a bunch of different ways to measure volume. Okay, one way is to get like units of distance and cube them. So cubic feet, cubic inches, cubic centimeters, cubic miles. You know, that's one way of measuring volume. But another way to measure volume is like gallons, cups, pints, liters, milliliters. That also measures volume. There's no cube in it. That is the unit. And like I could use a phone to tell me, hey, how many gallons are there in 452.4 cubic inches? Like the calculators will do that for me. But as far as just us as humans in our head, there is one pair of units between the two worlds that you would, that it's a direct conversion. Like you would know that one is equal to the other one. I'm not asking if anybody happens to know which one of those two are. A cubic centimeter is equal to another way of writing this, if you ever see it, if you ever are watching like a medical show on TV and they're like, oh, I need 400 cc's of blah, 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 whatever. cc stands for cubic centimeter. All right, anybody do number 4 yet? 32 over 3, yeah. Volume is equal to 5 times 2, 2 squared times 8 over 3. Nothing here cancels out. 2 squared is 4 times 8 is 32, so 32 pi over 3. Because the multiplication is in the numerator here, not in the denominator, you're less likely to make a mistake when it comes to rounding. If you want to put the 32 pi in parentheses to be safe, you can, but you should be okay because the calculator is automatically going to go left to right, and you wanted to multiply the 32 with the 5 first. The denominator is going to be different. So I'm getting around 33.5. Okay, square pyramids, the most common and probably the easiest of all the pyramids. Oh, you're not messing around. Let's see. This one is just S squared. What does the S stand for? The side. The square has all the same sides. Get one side of the square, the square. Multiply that times the height of the pyramid, which they're giving you. Just, you know what, even though we're not doing it, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on Pythagorean theorem, let's just say we had to. Let's pretend that this 7 was over here and it was a slant height, right? Well, now my triangle would be here, okay? The side that everybody messes up on is that one down there. Because like let's pretend that they were telling you that this was 7, the slant height was 7. This is going to be the variable, but that's what I'm looking for, the height. How can I figure out how long that is? Because I need it. I need to know 2 sides. Yeah, it's half of the side that it's running parallel to. So, and on square, they're all sides the same, but if it's running parallel to that 8, it would be half the 8, which is the 4. You just cut the side in half. You know, if we were to do it over here, how long would that be? It would be 1. We would need that for Pythagorean theorem. If it were to be over here, how long would that be? On number 8. I'll be quiet at home right now. So anyways, back to this one. Luckily they are giving me the height. Divide by 3. You can give me a fraction then? Okay, because I'm getting a fraction. 63 times 7 divided by 3. I'm getting 448. There's no pi here. 448 over 3. That's if you wanted to leave it exact. There's no reason to round. Oh, I guess it did say around. So let's just round. 149. What are the units, baby? I'm not messing around. Yeah, what's up, baby? Where did I get the 8 squared times 7? Did I do that wrong? 8 squared times 7? 448. Put that in your calculator. You know what the square button is? The question is, do you have to do the middle part? Well, how about if, instead of the rounding, how about if the direction tends to leave it exact? The direction is going to leave it exact, your calculator is only going to be telling you this, but you're going to need that. Unless your calculator has math credit, then if you have math credit, alright, let's go with number 16. No, number 6. Have a fraction. Squared times over 3. You said 1024 pi over 3? Directions told you to leave it exact, that's how they would leave it. Occasionally you might see it go back to the next word. I prefer leaving it as proper. And then I'll calculate it. 1024 pi divided by 3. I'm getting 1072.3. Andy, what would the unit be? If they asked you for a unit. Alright, let's go to number 7. Oh, you're messing around. Yeah, that should be alright. Volume is, now this is a square, so we square the 2 times the height, which is 3, but then you're dividing by 3, that cancels, you have volume is 4. Let's go to another case. Kimon, what would the unit be there? Thank you, Kimon. I'm guessing you got the last one already too? What'd you get? 108, let's see. 6 squared times 9 over 3. Another 9 over 3 can be divided, that gives you 50. So 6 squared is 36 times 3, yeah, that's 108. Kimon, and only Kimon. And actually, no, Katie also. What's the rest of the case? Katie and Kimon. Somebody tell me what the unit is. You can race to see who can answer first. Pay the best attention. Neither. So this is what they're doing. Amy, are you gonna say anything today at all? JV? I haven't heard from you today. Can you just give me the unit? It's a pretty easy question. mean, we all agree this is an attention thing, right? Like, and I'm not saying anybody specific, I'm not calling anybody specific for that at home. It's just like, this specific question, if I were to ask it to a generic person, after we've done it 6 times today, or actually more than 6 times today, as far as units go, I mean, it's not, like, that person can't say, oh, I'm not good at math. It's not because I'm not good at math, it's just because we're not, like, we're doing something else, right? Diana, you wanna give it a shot? What's the unit? It will not be centimeters, no. Not millimeters, no. Yeah. Yeah. Yannick, you wanna give it a try, Yannick? Like the question I'm asking isn't even a math question. Like, I'm basically just asking for the sake of seeing if you're paying attention or not, to see if I'm gonna get a reply. If you don't, like at this point, there's no challenge to this question. It's not anything that's gonna make you think. M3. Yeah. Coffee. Totally honest, so we'll go back to the Alright, let's go. Here's the ooh, that is a little bit different. That I already did too. Sam, you're so flustered. Look at Ferris. Look at Ferris. Yeah, they are giving you a diameter. Yannick, what's the radius gonna be? Good. 4 squared. Sorry. Pi times 4 squared times 9 times 3. 9 and 3 can be divided. 4 squared is 16. So I'm getting it. Now you got 40 in pi. On this next class. The only thing left to cover after today, I mean, like we're gonna just practice it the rest of the week. All we have left are spheres. You guys know what a sphere is? What's a sphere? It's like a ball, I'm sure. And we categorize these according to number of bases, right? The first 2 solids that we did, prisms and cylinders, how many bases did they have? 2. These pyramids and cones, how many bases do they have? Just 1. How many bases do you think a sphere has? 0, really? Wow, this is literally an exact copy of number 2 with a different height. Alright, so let's see if I can get it. Let's do a little bit of math then. Maybe. Actually, I'll open this up to anybody at home other than Ferris, because I'm already convinced that Ferris can do it. I haven't heard much from Maria other than saying hi. Maybe I haven't heard from anybody at home not named Ferris. I want the volume of number 12. Without doing any type of rounding or anything. No, that Ferris boy, you better.
Didn't you also look like you had a heart attack right then?
The question is, will this take the rest of the period?
I got some heat.
And you guys see that I basically already gave you answers, right? Because it's almost, if you take the notes, it's the exact same thing as the one on the last page where item 11 instead of item 10. I'm still waiting, just so you know, I'm still waiting, guys. So I might have conversations out here, but just don't think I'm not waiting. So this question goes out to Katie, Kimon, Maria, Diana, Kaden, Nathan, Manny, Yannick. If you want to move fast and move on, I would like you to answer this. Oh, No, but this is close. I did it for you. Somebody just left. No, we didn't. Oh, John. Yeah, yeah. Can you do 14 and 7? No, I would like you to. Jason, I did talk to you, and I gave you as long as you've been listening. As long as you've been listening, yeah, I know there's too many numbers, but there was too many numbers on, on this one over here on number 2, before, and then I told you what to do, and it's just asking you to do the same thing now. And only one number's changed, to be honest. There's 4 numbers there, only one of them is different than that number 2 on the last page. Distractions at home, except for Ferris. Ferris is not distracted. If anything, Ferris is the one that has the excuse. He has the brother I want to go to father, and he's still locked in. Well, we should need a decimal. And no, it's not 18.3.
Doesn't have 3 digits.
In my head, no. In my head, I got 2 digits. I mean, I can always be wrong anytime mental math, but you got 2 digits too. That is 2 digits, and maybe we're getting closer, but that's not what I got. John, if you want to give it a shot. I think, yeah, I guess so. I think I moved my phone already. Go ahead, Ferris. Just give me the answer. No, just give me the answer, and then I'm gonna do it for you. Answer 4 from over, no? Fine, Donna. Yeah, that's what I got. So volume is the base and behind the triangle, but the rule is it has to be at 90 degrees. That's why, Jason, we only need the 8 and the 6. We don't need to, like Ferris even asked you before, oh, what happens to the 10? Well, nothing. That's a hypotenuse. I don't need that. So it's 6 times 8 times the height, which is 11. But then you're supposed to divide by 6. So a triangle, you divide by 6, not by 3. You cancel out. Why I didn't do in my head. And I won't even waste time asking you for the unit. Jason, you want to redeem yourself for the next one? It's basically identical. Just change one number. Again. Or Diana for that matter. I hope you guys can see my screen clearly, right? It's not like you can't see the screen or anything. Sam, I'll let you jump in also, because even though you're not at home, I haven't heard that from you today. No, I think you're multiplying the 2 wrong numbers. Or better yet, I think you divide. I'm not sure. How would you get 6? Yeah, who said that? Maria, thank you. Good. Good, wrong, we do us the base. Look, so whichever triangle that we decide the base, and this is what I mentioned before, when it comes to triangular pyramids, well, it could be tricky depending on how they draw it, because everything's a triangle. The lateral faces are a triangle, the base is a triangle. But what I would do is the one that I have the most information on, the one that I get the most measurements, I would make that my base. So 6 and 8, perfect, that meets at 90 degrees. That's my base and the height. times the height of the pyramid, which is 10, divided by 6. So, like that, I'm not sure how you got 60, because the 6 is another one canceled. Gives us 80 cubic miles. Ooh, that's a big one. Let's see if we can finish before 9:10, so tomorrow we have one time. Long ago, actually, Sam, did you finish that one? Next one? Or actually, you know what? Hold on. Wasn't Jason done with 14? Jason, go ahead. Give me a question if you want. Get it already? How about you, Jason? Weren't you bringing 14? I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to get a fraction. Because what ends up happening here is you get the side squared, but the height is also 7, and then you're dividing by 3. So 3 doesn't go into 7. You get 7 cubed, which is 343 over 3. When there's no pi involved, is that what you got also? When there's no pi involved, that's usually going to be enough. But since technically they did say around 343 divided by 3. Oh, that's why you were saying 140. No, normally when I'm going to ask you for stuff, I want to know exact. I don't want to know. We can do the rounding together. Oh, they changed the numbers on us now. Now every number changed. Anybody at home want to give it a shot before I pass it on to somebody here? No Ferris? You don't know 15? Angelito? 8, right? I think that's that one. You got also 8? Yeah, 8 cubic meters. Volume is the base and the height. I'm going to use what we said, 90 degrees, which is the 4 and the 3. Times the height of the pyramid, which is 4, and then divided by 6. If it's a triangular pyramid, you divide by 6. If it's a square pyramid, you divide by 3. Triangular pyramid, you divide by 6. 4 times 4 times 3 is 48, divided by 6 is 8. Around cubic meters. And look at that, we have made it to the answer. Somebody not named Ferris. Tell me what's there. Maybe? What do you have to be aware of? Is that Yannick again? Or is that Jason? Yeah, thank you. It's a diameter. So, this 18, if you don't put in the 18, you put in 5 times 9 squared. Height is 18. I know this will give you 6. So if I just do 81 times 6, 486 pi. Now, Jason, Ferris, whoever else, now if you want to round, let's go. What is rounding that? 1526 points. Alright, so since we finished this for the week, I'm not starting spheres until Monday. So tomorrow, the people in person will jump on the computers. The people that are at home will also be on. If I can see that you have 100% on everything, then I'll let you go. That'll be for the next 2 days. But if not, then you'll spend the time working and sharing the screen and asking questions about it. You don't like that one? I think that's less stressful. Any questions for me at home before we go today? Okey-dokey, home people are dismissed.
Have a great day.
All right. Hasta la vista.